Have you ever woken up to a day that felt already derailed, where every email, every unexpected phone call, and every minor mishap built on the last until it seemed as though chaos was the only constant? You set out with intentions of productivity, connection, and maybe even a little joy. But by mid-morning, the world feels like a spinning top you can't steady. In those moments, it's easy to believe that nothing will go right, that every effort is doomed to toss you further into the storm. Yet, if we look beyond our own frantic efforts to control, we find remarkable teachers in nature. Creatures who face upheaval not with panic or resignation, but with an unshakable calm and inventive resilience that guide them through every unexpected tide. Today, let us journey together into the hidden corners of three extraordinary worlds: the ever-shifting reef, where octopuses demonstrate the art of fluid response; the bustling waterways, where beavers teach us the power of rebuilding; and the silent tidal pools, where starfish reveal the miracle of regeneration. In their movements and methods, we will discover not just survival tactics, but profound life lessons, offering us a compass for navigating our own messy moments with grace, creativity, and unwavering hope. Octopus, master of fluid adaptation. Beneath the cresting waves of a sunlit reef lies a labyrinth of coral canyons and sandy hollows. Here, an octopus glides with a sinuous grace, its 8 arms trailing like feathers in slow motion. At first glance, it appears as part of the rockwork, gray and still, but in an instant, the creature's skin erupts into shimmering blues and vibrant reds, a living tapestry that signals mood, temperature, and intent. The octopus faces a world of constant flux, currents that shift without warning, predators that hide in every crevice, and prey that vanishes in an instant. Yet, rather than confronting these uncertainties with brute force, the octopus embraces fluid adaptability, reading each circumstance as an invitation to transform. When threatened, it expels a cloud of ink and slips away. When curious, it extends one arm to explore, its senses alight. When hunting, it uses an intelligence that combines patience, precision, and inventiveness. In our own lives, we often cling to a single plan or identity, meeting every twist and turn with frustration or fear. But the octopus shows us that change need not be a threat. Instead, we can approach life's surprises with curiosity and creativity, testing one idea, retreating to rethink, and then returning with a new tactic. Imagine your next challenge as a crevice in the reef. Instead of banging your head against the same rock, practice shifting your skin and mindset, experimenting with colors until you find the camouflage that lets you slip silently into solution. Beaver, architect of resilient rebuilding. Follow the river upstream, where the water's song turns to a gurgling rush around fallen branches. There, you will find a family of beavers, tirelessly gnawing at trees, hauling logs, and crafting a dam that transforms a swift current into a tranquil pond. In a fierce storm, that dam may break. The water surges, the wooden walls collapse, and the pond disappears in a torrent. Yet when the skies clear, the beavers return to the wreckage, not to mourn what was lost, but to rebuild with greater strength. They drag fresh timber, layer mud more densely, and reinforce weak points, all the while undeterred by the knowledge that the next flood will come. Beavers do not see destruction as an end, but as part of the ongoing cycle of creation. Their lodges and dams are never static monuments, but living structures that evolve with each season and storm. In their world, resilience is built not by avoiding breakdowns, but by welcoming them as opportunities to fortify and innovate. When our own plans crumble, when a relationship fractures, a career path is upended, or health challenges derail our routines, we face a choice: to yield to discouragement or to become beaver-like in our resolve. We gather the fragments of our lives, our lessons, strengths, and support networks, and rebuild from the ground up, often creating something more robust, more fitting, and more beautiful than what we had before. Next time you confront a setback, ask yourself, how can I embrace this rubble as raw material for my next creation, trusting that every log I lay will stand firmer than the last? Starfish, miracle of patient regeneration. Slip into a sheltered tidal pool at low tide, where sunlight paints shimmering patterns on the stones. There, an orange starfish clings to a rock, its arms splayed in a perfect star. Yet recent waves have left one arm missing, a jagged stump marking the spot. Still, the starfish clings on, moving slowly, gathering nourishment, and discreetly regenerating the lost limb, one new cell at a time. In weeks to come, a new arm will emerge, identical to its siblings, a testament to patient renewal. Starfish demonstrate that profound transformation can arise not from dramatic upheaval, but from steadfast nurturing of the small beginnings. When we face loss of a job, of a dream, of a part of ourselves, we often feel broken beyond repair. But like the starfish, we possess an inherent blueprint for healing. Each day, we can tend our wounds with compassion, feed our growth with knowledge and support, and trust that regeneration is not only possible, but built into our very biology. Picture your own life's missing arm, a skill you lost, a relationship that ended, an identity you shed. Rather than hiding the loss, lean into the process of renewal. Seek out the nutrients of encouragement, the sunlight of new experiences, and the gentle currents of patience that carry you toward wholeness. In time, you too will emerge with restored strength, perhaps more vibrant, more complete, and more uniquely yours. When we bring together the octopus's fluid adaptability, the beaver's resilient rebuilding, and the starfish's patient regeneration, a clear pattern of flourishing in messy times emerges. Each creature confronts upheaval not as a sign to surrender, but as a call to adapt, to construct, and to renew. Their wisdom tells us that chaos is not the enemy of progress, but the crucible in which our truest strengths are forged. We learn that adapting our approach, rebuilding with intention, and nurturing our own renewal can transform setbacks into springboards. In every challenge, there lies within us the same alchemy these animals practice: invisible shifts of thought, deliberate actions on the broken ground, and gentle tending of our inner wounds. Pause for a moment and bring to mind a time when your world felt irretrievably messy. A sudden change that scattered your plans like fallen leaves in a storm. Feel the tension of that memory in your body, the tightness in your chest, the knot in your stomach, the ache of disorientation. Now consider, how might you embody the octopus's spirit of curiosity, experimenting with small shifts in perspective before committing fully to a single path? In what ways can you channel the beaver's determined craftsmanship, gathering your resources to rebuild the foundations of your life stronger than before? Where are you called to practice the starfish's gentle patience, nurturing your healing over time with compassion and steady care? Notice any softening of that old tension as you allow these questions to stir insight rather than overwhelm. Let the knowledge that you carry these natural strategies within you bring a sense of empowerment and peace. Life's messiest moments can feel like derailments, but in them lie the seeds of our most profound growth. The octopus, the beaver, and the starfish remind us that survival, and even thriving, does not come from avoiding disorder, but from leaning into it with open hearts and inventive minds. When we adapt like the octopus, we discover new paths where we once saw barriers. As we rebuild like the beaver, we create foundations more resilient than our past. And by regenerating like the starfish, we heal our wounds into sources of new strength. So, the next time overwhelm crashes against your shores, remember these teachers of creative chaos. Embrace the ebb and flow, gather the fallen pieces, and tend your inner landscapes with patient care. In doing so, you will not only survive the storm, you will emerge renewed, resourceful, and ready for the next chapter of your journey. And these animals, the fluid strategist in the reef, the tireless engineer of the stream, and the patient healer of the tide pool, are always here, guiding us through life's mess, if only we pause to watch and open our hearts to learn.